It's almost time to see our girls as adults. Hello everyone, it's Lel, and since OTONA PRECURE is very close, it's almost here, we can almost taste it. In this video, we're going to check out a special interview that was made with some of the voice actors that are going to work on this show, and they did a press conference. They talked about some pretty interesting things. Among those things, there are three things that I think we have to highlight, which are the first one, Kenta and Yuko from Splash Star will appear in OTONA PRECURE. The second one, Cure forms or a Cure form will be present in the show. And the third one is that episode 2 is a direct continuation of episode 1. This press conference that we are going to check out contained 3 of the voice actors from Otona, and they are Sanpei Yuko, who voices Nozomi, Takeuchi Junko, who voices Rin, and Hisaka Yoko, who voices Belle, who is the villain. So they joined forces to talk about the project and also some little behind the scenes from the recording sessions. So the first thing is something that we've already talked about in a previous video, which is about Nozomi's voice actor. She said that it was a big surprise for her to be able to play the role of Nozomi again. She was very happy to play her again, but she was also very nervous. And she thinks this production is a very big challenge for the Precure franchise, and she was very apprehensive since it was the first time that she was going to voice an adult Cure. So this was a big thing for her. She was nervous. And another thing that was on her mind is that we don't really see the girls growing. We suddenly see them as adults. So something that she shared about the behind the scenes is that the cast kept talking to themselves to see if they were doing a good job in portraying their characters as adults, because we don't see the growth of them into adults. So they kept on checking out with each other. Am I doing a good job? Is it okay? The one thing I'm doing, is it fine? And so this happened a lot in the recording sessions. Hisaka Yuko, who plays the villain Belle, she has worked in Precure before in Smile Precure, most specifically the Smile Precure movie. She plays Cinderella in the movie. So when she was approached to work in OTONA PRECURE, she did not know that the characters from Precure 5 would become Precures as adults. She thought that there was going to be a new cast. It was going to be a new show featuring regular adults who were never Precure before turning into Precure. So when she got to know that the Precure 5 girls were going to come back and become Precure again as adults, she was super, super excited. And she also shared that she got the full script from her character before recording, and she understood Belle very well before going into the recording sessions. And the details from Belle's story had to be kept a secret from the other voice actors who play the Cures. So they did not know who Belle was, her motives, or other things like that. So this is a very interesting thing, right? Another thing is that they also shared a vision from Murase Aki, who is the producer of the Precure franchise. So Murase stated a couple of times, and also for the cast of the show, that this is a project for people who watched Precure back then when they were children and now are adults. This is part of the 20th anniversary of the franchise, the celebrations of the 20th anniversary. And this is a project thinking of people who grew up with Precure and are now facing their adulthood, and they have their memories from when they were children, from when they were younger, and now they're struggling. And so they're going to see something very relatable on screen. And another thing that was stated, and I feel like it's important to share, is that this is a work that will depict the 8 girls' lives as adults. So it's important. The number 8 here is important. It's a lucky number for Gemini people like me. No, that's not the reason. It's because when OTONA PRECURE was announced, it was announced that it was a sequel to Yes Precure 5 or Yes Precure 5 Go Go. So we thought it was going to feature or focus on the 6 girls. But in this case, it's clear. It's not only Precure 5, it's also Splash Star. So it's the combination of 8 girls who are going to be featured on this. All of their lives, all their struggles that arise in the midst of their lives are going to be on screen. The 8 of them. And another thing is that the first 2 episodes of the show are in the form of part 1 and part 2. And Takeuchi Junko also shared some stuff about this. Takeuchi Junko is Ring's voice actor. She said that in the original story, they weren't able to show certain things because the girls were in middle school. Now they're grown up, now they're adults, and they were able to add some more stuff in the story. And we're going to be able to see the girls saying lines as kanpai, which means cheers. And we're going to see them drinking alcohol. And they will be able to show things that they were not able to do in the original work. Takeuchi Junko is also going to be the voice of Kenta from Splash Star. Do you remember Kenta? Kenta and Yuko, as I said before, are going to be a part of Otona. They are going to appear in the show. This makes me wonder if we're going to see other characters from Yes Precure 5. And I'm curious, very curious. And there's another interesting fact about Kenta. They say that Kenta will appear in Otona, and Takeuchi shared that she was very surprised with Kenta's appearance. We don't know how he will look like, but I'm very curious. And according to Murase Aki, the producer, his appearance was a strong request of Washio, who is the almighty, the Precure god, the big director and producer of the Precure franchise. So the new appearance of Kenta was a strong request of Washio. So I'm very, very curious to see what they have in store for us. And so to end the interview, they all shared stuff like, thank you, and, we're very excited for you to watch the show. But there is one thing that I feel like is very, very exciting. Sanpei Yuko finished the interview saying this line: "I put a lot of love and hope into it so that I could create something really special for all of you." And she finished by saying, she actually finished by asking the audience to look forward to when the Precure will appear in the show. Yes, baby. Yes. That's how she finished the press conference. We haven't seen the Cures. They are keeping it a secret, but they will appear. I mean, we don't know if they will appear because, I don't know much Japanese, but I do know that sometimes, depending on how you say it, there isn't like singular or plural. So she might have meant like my cure form or cure forms or cure or cures. So we don't exactly know what she meant by that. I feel like it just adds to the expectation, right? It just makes me very, very excited about it all. Another thing that we have is the summary for the first episode, which is basically the trailer that we've already seen. Let's check it out. When Yumehara Nozomi was still in junior high school, she met the fairy named Coco and transformed into a Precure in order to save Coco. In the process of fighting enemies together with her friends, she found her dream for the future. Time has passed since then. Nozomi has grown up to be an adult and meets with her childhood friend Natsuki as usual and complains about her problems. Who doesn't do that? Which adult meet their friend and doesn't complain about problems in their lives, right? She thinks back to her days as a Precure and chants her transformation call. Then, Kasugana Urara, Akimoto Komachi, and Minazuki Karen coincidentally show up. So this is the summary for the first episode. It's going to be like this big reunion, this big meeting, and they're going to be meeting again, and we're going to see them also meeting Miki Rose, Kurumi, and also Saki and Mai from Splash Star. And about Saki and Mai, there is one thing that's looming the Precure fandom, which is Saki's wedding ring. She has a wedding ring in her hand. You can see it in her left hand. So she has this wedding ring. So we're wondering, is she married? What's going on with her character? We don't really know. But there is one interesting thing. Mai's voice actor tweeted this, and this is a picture that she shared with Orie, who is Saki's voice actor. So they were in a recording session. This wasn't very long ago, September 27. So it wasn't that long ago. And she shared this on Twitter. She shared this pic on Twitter. And she posted with 2 emojis. And those emojis are very resemblant of a wedding party, of a wedding. Not a wedding party, a wedding. So maybe they were recording something related to a wedding in this scene while she shared this picture. What's going on? Are they getting married? No. I wonder if Kenta is related to this. We're gonna wait and see. All we know is that it seems that Saki has marriage as part of her story. But this is all conjecture because we don't really know what's gonna happen. The one sad thing about everything concerning Otona Precure is that it doesn't seem we are going to have an official way of watching this with subtitles in a streaming service. Crunchyroll unfortunately hasn't announced, at least not until now, and we haven't had announcements of another service like High Dive, for example. Unfortunately, I would love for it to be on Crunchyroll so that we could be supportive of Otona Precure in an official way, because this show is made with so many of us in mind. And I forgot to share another thing that was also stated in the press conference. It was stated that Otona is a work that is done with the adults that watched Precure back in the day in mind. But it's also a work that can be enjoyed by people who loved Precure when they were children, but also by children who are currently watching Precure. So I feel like this is important because I've seen some people in the fandom worried about what they might show in this, if it's going to be like gruesome and too like strong because it's an adult series, if we're going to see like fan service or things like that, or like you know, sexy fan service, you know, things like that. And it seems we don't. You know, I feel like, and as I've said this in a previous live stream of mine, which is I feel like the Precure franchise has this in its soul. It's part of its soul. Doesn't matter if it's for children, for adults. Every work of Precure will have some level of I don't know how to put this into words, but there's also this level of quality of like integrity in Precure. You know, so I feel like it doesn't matter if it's with adults in mind, if it's with children in mind, it will always have the Precure soul, you know? So Otona seems to be one of them. I'm very, very excited. Otona is going to be mind-blowing for sure. I just cannot wait. Anyways, babies, this is it for now. I want to take this little time to thank the members of the Magical Cinema channel. If you are a member, thank you very much. And if you've watched up until now, thank you so much as well. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.